The evening news. I am Adeniyi Adebayo. Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke has returned to Nigeria from his working vacation to Bangkok, Thailand. The governor arrived at the Muritala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos.
Bangkok, to be precise, Bangkok, Thailand. Beautiful. I went there for my vacation, and of course I seized the opportunity to do my medicals. I have good news to Osun people. The governor is fit. Can't you see me? And I'm so happy, that I'm back. When I was coming in, did you see me with a wheelchair? No. Can't you see me? Am I looking good or what?
Very looking good.
That's it. So they are just embarrassed because of our achievement.
The federal government has accused some unnamed powerful Nigerians for sponsoring terrorism in areas where the nation's minerals are burned. The Minister of Solid Minerals, Dele Alake, said this when he appeared before the House of Representatives Committee on Solid Minerals for the 2024 Budget Defense in Abuja. It was learnt that the minister had in October told newsmen shortly after a Federal Executive Council meeting that foreign illegal miners were sponsoring banditry in Nigeria, despite consistently blaming foreign illegal miners for sponsoring banditry and terrorism in the country. The minister, however, disclosed that the powerful individuals were being monitored, noting that both kinetic and non-kinetic methods are being activated to arrest the menace. Also, while receiving a delegation of the Nigeria-China Chamber of Mines led by its national president, Dr. Olugbenga Ajala, in his office, Alake used the opportunity to warn foreign operators who sponsor banditry to execute illegal mining in the country to desist from the act. He said his ministry is liaising with the Nigerian Armed Forces and other security agencies in the country with inclusion of the use of artificial intelligence to boost security in areas where solid minerals abound in the country. The federal government has set aside $2.5 billion for primary health care funding. Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Ali Pate, who said this, noted that the external development partners and the federal government will contribute to the funding pool. The minister spoke at an event in Abuja to commemorate the Universal Healthcare Coverage Day, where President Bola Tinubu rolled out his administration's plan to make healthcare cheap and accessible. According to him, the Ministry of Health and Social Welfare would launch a massive revamping of the health sector with effect from January next year. The minister also noted that strategic steps the government is taking will strengthen the governance of Nigeria's health sector, boost efficiency, reduce leakages, and support the effective implementation of the National Healthcare Act. Meanwhile, the United Nations Population Fund has emphasized the critical role in access to family planning information and services play in curbing mortality rates during childbirth in Nigeria. Gender and reproductive health analyst of the UNFPA, Esther Shomefun, stated this at the Family Planning Hackathon themed Creating Innovative Solutions to Increase Access to Family Planning, organized by Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare, UNFPA Microsoft Engineering Team in Lagos. Shomefun explained that case studies showcased that 3.5 million pregnancies could be avoided and more than 31,000 women in Nigeria saved from dying if all women were able to plan their families, give birth through and have access to modern family planning. The health analyst said that health economists estimate that if investment worth about $306 million is put into family planning, many women would not die at childbirth. She therefore said that technology and innovation is a catalyst and accelerator to reducing maternal mortality that may increase demand and uptake to family planning in Nigeria. The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Dr. Betta Edu, has declared what she called zero allocation to the newly created Humanitarian and Poverty Eradication Trust Fund by the federal government. She said the allocation to her ministry in the proposed 2024 budget is not enough to fight poverty in the country. Edu spoke when she appeared before the National Assembly Joint Committee on Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation to defend the proposed 2024 budget of the ministry. The minister said her ministry was given an overhead ceiling of 532.5 billion naira, representing 28% increase over the 2023 budget to cushion the effects of inflation. The federal government has decided to sell off its 40% shares in electricity distribution company in order to end the inefficient operation of the electricity distribution chain and ownership crisis in many of the 11 distribution companies. Director General of the Bureau of Public Enterprises, Alex Oko, said the divestment will be done through public offering at the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Oko said the planned sale of equities is also to generate funds for the federal government to part finance the 27.5 trillion naira 2024 appropriation bill, explaining the plan and other activities by the BPE for other government-owned agencies. Oko told newsmen that the government shares in the Petrochemicals Company Limited, Nigeria, Reinsurance, Nikon Insurance, and Nigeria Machine Tools will also be put up for sale next year. He said the BPE had sold 60% of equity in the 5 enterprises to core investors, leaving the government with a 40% balance. Oko said the privatization program has recorded significant mileage in the past 6 months from both foreign and local investors. The death has been announced of a media guru and a member of Osun Elder Forum of midwifed the creation of Osun State Ambassador Oladiran Fagbonugbe. The release from the Fagbonugbe family of Igbajo stated that Ambassador Fagbonugbe died last month at the age of 74. The release said burial arrangements holds on Friday with funeral service and interment at Shango Cemetery, Ibadan in the morning. And now to sports. Nigeria are back in contention for a place at the 2024 ICC Women's T20 World Cup in the United Arab Emirates and Bangladesh after beating Rwanda by 3 runs at the ongoing qualifiers in Uganda. The female Yellow Greens win was decided by the Duckworth-Lewis method after Nigeria's innings was affected by the rain. Coming from a loss in their previous Group B game, Nigeria and Rwanda rekindled their cricketing rivalry, and both sides needed a victory to keep their semi-final qualifications hope alive. Rwanda won the toss and elected to bat first, but the East African side struggled to get runs on the board as Nigeria displayed exceptional bowling albeit some midfielding. Battling all-rounders and usual suspects, Erin Smith and her sister Gisle were tamed for 4 runs from 8 balls and 3 runs from 8 balls as Nigeria took control of the game and limited Leonard Namburo to 88 runs for the loss of 9 wickets in 20 overs. Peculiar Agboya was instrumental for Nigeria in the second inning with her bowling figures of taking 3 wickets for just 13 runs in 4 overs. Agboya also took 19 runs from 17 balls to win the Player of the Match award as Nigeria posted 49 runs for 4 wickets in 10.3 overs. And on the foreign scene, the European Parliament and EU member states have agreed to establish a central body to clamp down on money laundering as well as attempts to circumvent sanctions. According to the members, European Parliament, Eva Maria Popcheva, the new institution known as the Anti-Money Laundering Authority, to crack down on dirty money in the EU. She said it will also crack down on the financing of terrorism as a hub working in the coordination with national authorities to better fight against such illegal activity. Popcheva added that the agency will have supervisory powers and in serious cases or repeated breaches, it will have the power to hit corporates with financial penalties by overseeing the 40 riskiest financial entities, and the agency will be able to supervise companies that allow people to trade and store crypto assets. That ends the evening news on Osbc TV. Join us at 7 for the major reports. Good evening.